80 years ago, 1942, Winston Churchill told the guests at the Lord Mayor's luncheon at the Mansion House, quote, "I have not become the King's First Minister in order to preside over the liquidation of the British Empire." Boris Johnson regards himself as the Winston de nos jours, so he is surely familiar with that quote. But in cold reality, has he become the Queen's First Minister in order to preside over the liquidation of the British Commonwealth? Mr. Johnson regards himself as a warrior for so-called global Britain. But Britain has never looked less global. Across the map, China is picking off Commonwealth islands one by one, from its billion-dollar highway expenditures in Jamaica to its proposed new military base in the Solomons. In this Platinum Jubilee year, the Queen risks losing her dominions in the Caribbean and the Pacific to Chairman Xi, who has, frankly, a far bigger chequebook. Australia certainly looks on the Solomon Islands as within its sphere of influence, and over the weekend, at least one commentator down under compared the new Chinese base to the Cuban Missile Crisis and called on the Australian Armed Forces to invade the Solomons. That would be a rather odd war, a bit like the first Indo-Pakistani War of 1947, when the two newly independent nations still had their armies under British command, so English officers of the Indian Army were going to war against English officers of the Pakistani Army, with both groups reporting to the same ultimate commander-in-chief, King George VI. If that Australian observer gets his way, Australian soldiers of the Queen will be taking down Solomon Island soldiers of the Queen. Happy Jubilee. But set aside that potential excitement, because the Duke of Cambridge's words in the not-so-British West Indies may be more typical of a general fatalism about where the Queen's realms are headed. Facing Republican challenges to his visit, His Royal Highness could offer no more than a limp-wristed passivity, quote, "We support with pride and respect your decisions about your future." He did not become the Queen's second in line in order to preside over the liquidation of Her Majesty's realms, but if that's how it shakes out, hey cool, respect man. And underneath all this is Chinese money, unlimited amounts, nearly $3 billion. Papered about Jamaica, a mere $500 million in the Bahamas, and along with the cash, you get a superpower patron that doesn't have any historical baggage in the regions.